Okay, ready to rock.
My name's Anthony English, carpenter. My brother, Stephen English, was a Minder bodyguard for Johnny Rotten, for The Clash, and he basically worked for a promoter called John Curd, who put on a lot of the early punk gigs. Johnny Rotten was like smart, very smart, outrageous. He didn't care what anyone thought of him. If it weren't for John Rotten, there wouldn't be them. You know, The Clash and all those bands, they might have made it, but he just blew it all out the water. His voice and the anger. We used to see him walk through the estate back in 1970 with green hair, blue hair, with Sid Vicious. You know, that was like out there back then, you know, and we'd be playing football or soccer, as you call it, and make fun of him. And then all of a sudden, they were going to be on the TV in this program, program that was like mainstream program called the Today program. And they went on it, and they were one of the first bands to use profanities.
Nothing, a rude word. Next question.
No. What was the rude word?
Shit.
There's the band and some other girls that are all dressed up in outrageous outfits. And he gets a bit flirty with them, and it all gets a bit like, so they start using profanities. One of them, John, says fuck or shit or something like that. And it just exploded. Next day, it was like he was public enemy number one.
He was one of the people who actually spoke out about Jimmy Savile being a fucking weirdo, and no one was speaking out about it. And they're obviously kind of like a symbol of punk, you know, they're very iconic. So, and they actually, that interview's been like, got removed by the BBC because of it, because he was speaking out against it.
Why all the infamous language?
Infamous language, you're joking. What language is that?
Language?
I speak nothing but the fucking English language.
They just changed the face of the music industry overnight in this country. Absolutely overnight. Kids were going insane for their music, and they started gigging. We just loved it. We went on tour with them, started going on tour with them, started hanging out with them.
Hey, Johnny!
John, he had a flat down in King's Cross, down the road, where we all lived. Him, all his mates, all us, off the street, living in this place. And he was mostly in the studio or on tour. We had a great time. And then the band, they were recording this album called Never Mind the Bollocks. He brought home what they call it acetate, and it just blew us all away. It was the greatest rock and roll album I've ever heard. You know, I thought, this like spotty git from like Finsbury Park has like made the greatest rock album ever.
Quite famous, aren't you?
Yeah, I suppose so.
How did all that happen?
I don't know. Through being honest.
They didn't want to become famous. It was their thing. But I feel they quite enjoyed it once they did.
I think I heard one time that they urinate on the audience one time. Why, I don't know. It just sounds goofy.
The pistols are just out of sight. I think they got a lot of balls.
It's about time we got some street fighting men here in America. It's about time we got someone to rile the people up.
It's better than homework. It's better than a lot of stuff. I mean, you know, sometimes it's kind of boring in itself, but it's something to do.
What does punk mean to you?
To me, punk is very liberal. It's very like, in a way, Renaissance is like one of the genres that I like because it's so different from other typical music genres.
That's just a great time. Really, really. It's, I mean, it meant other things to other people, like, you know.
Kind of like rebellious, like not really like doing the status quo, kind of like doing something different, not really like orderly or like kind of traditional.
I'd say politics primarily, like I said, Sex Pistols, like Vivienne Westwood.
Punk is certainly at the moment, it's counterculture, it's anti-authoritarian, it's standing up for the little guy.
I think it's very political. I think a lot of the music stems from some like the rules and the regulations that the government puts in place, and people, use their music as a way to like express their frustrations. Specifically like women in punk, they, use a lot of feminist like rhetoric in their music and stuff. So, yeah.
But punk is really nothing new, I think.
Then you think wrong.
Do you think punk still exists today, or do you think it died in the 70s?
I mean, it probably still exists today, but I think with the internet and like social media, there's a lot of people who can kind of like co-opt the aesthetic without like the meaning behind it.
Punk definitely hasn't died, it's just changed shape in a bunch of ways. I think mostly for the better.
People are still going to see the Buzzcocks. Yeah. My age, like the Buzzcocks are 70.
I would definitely say that punk is alive today and well. It's definitely changed from how it was in the 90s and 80s. I think some of the sounds changed, and then also like just some of like, mosh pits and stuff like that. The dynamic has changed a little bit, but I think it's still alive. Yeah.
Without punk, there's a lot that would just be so much worse about like the world that we're in. Like, punk has had such a huge impact in terms of the way that we're able to express ourselves and the communities that are built around punk.
Why do you ask me all these silly questions? Do you really expect me to answer them?
Who cares? Come on, everybody!